Good morning, everybody. Let's talk about intonation. We know that each language has its intonation. But what is intonation in fact? Intonation is a complex unity of variations in pitch, stress, tempo, and timbre. The pitch component of intonation or melody is the changes in the pitch of the voice in connected speech. Sentence stress or accent is the greater prominence of one or more words among other words in the same sentence. Let's talk about speech melody. Speech melody is variations in the height of the voice during speech. A pitch level, a certain relative height within the speaker's voice range. The interval between two different pitch levels is called the pitch range. Here we can see the main tunes of English intonation, such as fall, fall, rise, and the rise. The other components of intonation are the voice quality or timbre, the tempo of speech, and the rhythm. What is the voice quality? It's a special coloring of the voice in pronouncing sentences which show the speaker's emotions such as joy, sadness, irony, anger, indignation, and etc. The tempo of speech is the speed with which sentences or their parts are pronounced. Rhythm is the recurrence of stressed syllables at more or less equal intervals of time. Intonation has its functions. The main function of the intonation is communicative function, and the syntactical grammatical functions, accentual, indicative of communicative types of sentences, attitudinal, modal, and the stylistic functions. Let's talk about communicative type of the sentences or indicative function of intonation. Intonation serves to form sentences and the intonation groups. Let's pay attention to these sentences. Thank you for the compliment. It's an exclamatory sentence. Where are they going? It's a question. Jane said her mother is fond of knitting. It's a statement. And the main communicative type of the English language are statements, questions, exclamatory sentences or comments, and so on. And the intonation serves to indicate these communicative types of the sentences. And we know that intonation pattern has four main components, such as the prehead, the head, the nucleus, the tail. In this tables or in this tonogram we can see the intonation pattern, the main parts of the intonation pattern. The prehead, he is a very remarkable. It's the head, and the nucleus is no, and the very least, it's the tail of the sentence. And we can indicate intonation on the staves. And the method of indicating intonation on the staves is called tonogram. Unstressed syllables are represented by dots. Stressed syllables are marked by dashes or curves. A dash represents a level tone. A downward curve represents the final fall. An upward curve represents the final rise. And the two parallel lines or staves represent the upper and the lower limits of human voice or the range of the voice. Two vertical bars denote a long pause, which usually occurs at the end of a sentence. A single vertical bar denotes a short pause inside the sentence. Here you can see the main tunes of the English intonation, such as mid, high, low, falling, rising, rising, falling, falling, rising. Please pay attention to the places of these tunes on staves. Let's write tonogram of the sentence. It is difficult. Two parallel staves, and there here you can see two unstressed syllables. It is, and in the difficult we see curve and the two unstressed syllables or two dots. And here you can see the main tunes of the English intonation, such as simple tunes, complex tunes, compound tunes. Simple tunes are divided into low fall, high fall, mid fall, low rise, high rise, mid rise, and the mid level. And the complex tunes, fall, rise, fall, rise. And the compound tunes, rise plus fall or fall plus rise. Here you can see types of terminal tones in the word now, such as low fall, high fall, rise fall, or low rise, high rise, fall rise, and the mid level. Each component of intonation pattern has its types. For example, prehead had the next types, low prehead or high prehead. And the main part of the intonation pattern is heads, and the heads are divided into falling, stepping, sliding, scandent. And you may read all these samples. And now let's watch video and read the following rhythmic groups. Observe quick pronunciation of unstressed syllables. Please pay attention to stressed and the unstressed syllables.
Can you sing? I like to sing very much, but I don't have a great singing voice. I'm better at playing the piano. I understand music pretty well, and of course I understand the English language quite well. So I feel confident that I can guide you to have better intonation and rhythm in English.
Learn intonation patterns in English with Jennifer.
In some ways, speaking a language is like singing a song. There are words, there's a melody, and there's a rhythm. Every language has its own music. I bet that even if you don't speak other languages, you can probably recognize them based on what you hear, right? If you want to sound more natural in English, then you have to listen carefully to the musical quality of the English language. English is a stress-time language. What does that mean? What does that mean? Stress sounds take a bit longer to say, and they happen on a regular beat. All the unstressed sounds are shorter, and they happen off-beat. So these longer and shorter sounds create a rhythm. First, let's talk about words. English words of 2 or more syllables have stressed and unstressed sounds. A stressed sound is generally louder, longer, and at a higher pitch. For example, English. Listen. Da-dum. English. 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 Communication. Da-da-dum-da-dum. Communication. 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 Next, let's talk about sentences. English sentences have stressed and unstressed words. We stress content words like nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, words that carry meaning. Function words like articles and prepositions are normally unstressed. We say them more softly and generally faster. Our content words fall on the beat. Function words are offbeat. If you'd like to learn more about how unstressed words and unstressed sounds change in fast speech, watch my 20-day Fast Speech Challenge. In this 10-day challenge, we'll focus mainly on intonation. Intonation is the melody of our speech, It's how our voice goes up and down in pitch. These changes in pitch happen on stressed words, so you'll learn how stress and intonation work together. Intonation is a key part of our communication in English. Through intonation, we express our emotions, our intentions, and our attitudes. Are you ready for your first full lesson on intonation? We'll start soon, but let's not rush. Remember, after each lesson, you need to take time to practice on your own. Repeat the model sentences aloud. If possible, record yourself and compare your speech to mine. You can do this kind of listen-repeat practice with other speakers as well. For example, a short film clip or part of an audio interview can provide a good model. As always, thanks for watching and happy studies.
Now, I think that we will cope with the task. For example, in the pattern, right to here. Here you must find stressed words and unstressed words. Please try to remember Jennifer's advice. And your home task, you are to read and do these exercises. The first, try to say yes with different intonation and the meaning. The next, now say hello to using two emotional colorings. And the exercise 3, put the stress on different words in the sentence. And this is your homework. You may use these links to get more information about intonation. Please use all these links. And thank you for your attention. Our lesson is over. Goodbye.